This is the Nurburgring. This is the venue for round one of the 1998 Super Touring Meisterschaft, Germany's 2-litre touring car championship. And under rainy skies, the cars get away for the first round. 7 manufacturers, Peugeot with its 406, that beats this car, BMW's 320i, to the championship last year. A brand new car for Alfa Romeo, the new 156. Opel with the Vectra, but heavily revised from its disappointing 1997 season. Honda's Accord in familiar colours, but in new hands in the driver lineup. The Nissan Primera EGT, the same car run by the Rosberg team, and Audi with its A4, similarly looking identical on the outside, but with only 2-wheel drive. Well, the reigning champion, Laurent Aiello, facing up to all the other champions in this Super Touring car season. He will race again for Peugeot. They have been the dominant force in 97. 94 champion Johnny Cecotto races for BMW, the Schnitzer team doing the honours for the German factory. Joachim Winkelhock, the 1995 champion, also in the BMW. He's the man who narrowly lost the championship at the final round in 1997. And Emanuele Pirro, the 96 champion, back for Audi in the A4s. This time the semi-works outfit run by the Abt Sportline team. Well, during qualifying, Laurent Aiello taking pole position. Does he have a great deal of pressure on his shoulders, though, as the reigning champion? Let's hear from Francois Soudan.
No, I don't think it has really pressure. I think for sure we are the winner, so you have to win again this year. But I think we are very confident with the new car, and we have other teams that are very strong this year. So it will be a very nice championship, I suppose.
Well, the champion driver, the champion team in a brand new car, very wet conditions at the start, and away they go. Joachim Winkelhock getting an electrifying start. The BMW's always quick away from the line. They go through the standing water on the run down to the first corner. Winkelhock takes the lead into turn 1, but runs wide at the exit. And Laurent Aiello takes over at the helm as Winkelhock finds himself swamped by the hordes of Opels. So it's Aiello from Uwe Altzen in second place, Winkelhock third, Manuel Reuter ahead of Frank Bilo and Emanuele Pirro, but Johnny Cecotto being pushed out by Christian Abt in his Audi. Cecotto rejoining in 12th place. Joe Winkelhock now fighting back. Aiello leading. Uwe Altzen is the man with whom we ride now as he battles with Joe Winkelhock. Winkelhock in the BMW, and Manuel Reuter, the 1996 ITC champion, putting his Opel into the picture as well. A 3-way battle for second place, playing into the hands of Aiello as the Frenchman eases away from this 3-sided tussle. Reuter down the inside, and he takes the position. So Joe Winkelhock drops down again, and replay of Johnny Cecotto being spun out by another Audi. This time it's Oliver Meyer in a privateer, Audi number 15. Riding with Uwe Altzen, Laurent Aiello, the race leader. Uwe Altzen for Opel in second place, Manuel Reuter for Opel in third. And the Opel Vectras, a disappointment to the teams in 1997, starting the 1998 season as front-running contenders. Uwe Altzen takes the lead as Aiello runs out of road, coming out onto the straight. Manuel Reuter there, right behind in third place. Well, brave driving by Aiello to hold on around the outside. It didn't quite work for him, and he's compromised his line there as Reuter goes down the inside. Aiello has nowhere to duck back in, but he tries anyway. Aiello gets a big slap from Reuter for his troubles, recovers in third place. Joe Winkelhock now hot on his heels. These two men, of course, battled for the championship last year. Aiello was ahead from the start, Winkelhock always playing catch-up, but a stunning run of successes in the middle of the season brought him to within a hair's breadth of winning the championship against the season-long championship leader at the final round. In the end, though, it is Aiello who carries the number 1 plate into 1998 and into this first race. Again, you can see that Reuter getting him hung up across the front of the Opel. But it's victory in round 1 for Uwe Altzen, the winner of the race for Opel.
It's a really great feeling. I think it's fantastic. Thank you for the whole staff, and we try to do this again, okay?
Well, after a very disappointing year in 97, Volker Streisek, the Opel race director, much more impressed with the showing of his cars, first and second in the sprint. So they go then for the main race. as they finished the sprint. Opels first and second, and again a blistering getaway, this time in drier conditions but only slightly. Joe Winkelhock takes the lead into the first corner, but look at the orange car of Christian Menzel around the outside, almost in a position to threaten Winkelhock for the lead. He slots in behind in second though. Menzel so strong for BMW in the EasyAt car last year. He stays with them for 1998, and he really did feature strongly, helping Johnny Cecotto and the BMW team support Joe Winkelhock's bid in the middle of the season. Well, Menzel now, with no team orders coming into account, taking the lead, as out at the back goes one of the privateer BMWs. So Johnny Cecotto also sliding off then. Cecotto having a torrid opening season race. Tough time in the sprint, and he will only finish 8th in the main race. Meanwhile, Uwe Alsen and Laurent Aiello battling away. Riding with Alsen. These two had a ding-dong at the head of the field in the first sprint of the season. Here's Christian Menzel outbraking himself and dropping the car off the road to lose the lead. So here's the battle now for the lead. Laurent Aiello taking over at the front of the race. Joe Winkelhock was the leader. Manuel Reuter coming in hot on his heels. Manuel Reuter with his nose inside. Winkelhock can't take the optimum racing line. Reuter's still there. Round the back of this shorter circuit at Hockenheim. This is not the full-length Grand Prix track. Uwe Alsen running out of road and into the gravel. And here's how it happened. Getting spun there off the nose of Johnny Cecotto's BMW. So Alsen in the gravel trap, and he'll eventually finish 17th. Aiello going off though while leading, and so he loses first place. Manuel Reuter now taking over the head of the field. But despite these problems, Laurent Aiello staged a fantastic recovery to cross the line just a second behind Reuter. But with Alsen winning from Reuter in the sprint and Reuter winning the race, it's a very successful weekend indeed for the Opel Vectras, in a way that they could only have hoped for over the weekend. And Volker Streisek just delighted with the way it all went. And Manuel Reuter, the winner of the race, equally delighted as well.
I just said it was so emotional to win again, the first win with a Vectra in the first race with the famous number 7.
So Manuel Reuter, courtesy of a second and a first in the double point scoring main race, the championship leader after one round from reigning champion Laurent Aiello and last year's runner-up Joe Winkelhock. Round 2 at the Nurburgring, 10th of May. And early in the season, Hockenheim and the Nurburgring both expected to be cold, wet and miserable, but surprising sunshine for the start of the sprint. Roland Asch on pole, a great qualifying run by the German driver in the Nissan Primera. Away he goes. Alongside him, Eric Ellery in the Opel Vectra, but another great start from the BMWs. On the left, extreme left of the picture, Johnny Cecotto with the red strips around the car. And Joe Winkelhock behind him, also coming up the inside lane very strongly indeed from a dismal qualifying performance. BMWs finding that the speed of the Nissans, the Hondas and the Opels in a straight line, there was much more than they could contend with. But away from the start, Cecotto gets himself up into second place ahead of this massive melee. Perhaps the surprise of qualifying, not the lack of speed in a straight line of the BMWs, who have a high downforce aero package for 98, but the lack of speed of the Honda Accord, so long reckoned to be a front runner in terms of outright pace, at least in the British Touring Car Championship. New drivers in the Hondas, Gabriele Tarquini being joined by Tom Christensen, the Dane, in an effort to boost Honda's championship hopes in Germany. Well, here are the top three then. Riding with the reigning champion, Laurent Aiello. Ahead of him, Johnny Cecotto. Also, of course, a champion here in 1994, the first year of Germany's Super Touring 2-litre championship. And they are chasing Roland Asch. Roland Asch a long way ahead at this stage. Eric Ellery in second place, leading this group of Opels, BMWs, and the single Honda there of Gabriele Tarquini in 8th place. Big cloud of tyre smoke as Johnny Cecotto trail breaks through the chicane, and here is your runaway leader. And Roland Asch romping away in the sprint. Second place, Eric Ellery. Third, Johnny Cecotto. Fourth, Laurent Aiello. And behind them, Reuter and Altzen in their Opels. Seventh for Winkelhock. Eighth for Tarquini. And ninth for Jörg van Ommen in the second of the Peugeots. Victory in the second sprint of the year for Roland Asch and Nissan. So Opel now with 2 wins and Nissan with 1. Peugeot and BMW yet to score.
I'm more than happy, and especially with the third and fourth and second with Cecotto and everybody. He kept everybody up. And Krum did a brilliant job as well from the pit lane, then on position 12. I'm really happy.
Arno Zensen delighted with the performance, and that's how they start the main race. Roland Asch on pole again on the right-hand side, but watch Johnny Cecotto, third on the grid, should translate into first. Joe Winkelhock held up there as Manuel Reuter missed the start completely, caught out by the lights. And Johnny Cecotto on the inside. Roland Asch won't be able to defend this. Cecotto from third on the grid takes the lead. Then it's Asch, then Ellery, the orange and white car. Then it's Aiello and the Honda and Christian Menzel. Gabriele Tarquini and Christian Menzel getting together in the first corner. There is Tarquini over on the right-hand side of the picture as Ellery moves past Asch into second place. And again, Menzel and Tarquini making contact. Menzel goes off. Tarquini half spins. He hits Jörg van Ommen. Menzel comes on. Tarquini, the man who drops all the way down the order before he can find terra firma once more. Battle here. Eric Ellery on the outside, Laurent Aiello on the inside at the end of the lap. And this is side-by-side racing. There they are. The BMW leading, and still the two of them side by side. Finally, Aiello gets the advantage, but is very ragged into the back chicane. Will he be able to hold on? Johnny Cecotto not able to get away here. The Venezuelan driver leading the race though, and this battle between the Opel and the Peugeot and the Nissan for second place will help him stay ahead. Ellery in second. But Johnny Cecotto for Venezuela and for BMW finally gets his name on top of the scoreboard in the race at the Nurburgring. Cecotto wins for BMW. Ellery again showing the strength of Opel ahead of Aiello, Asch and Altzen.
We did a lot of setup work for the race, and finally it resulted very good. The car was fantastic to drive. The tires lasted easy without problems, so everything was okay.
So after 2 rounds, Laurent Aiello, the reigning champion, leads the series from Johnny Cecotto and Manuel Reuter, with Joe Winkelhock in 4th place ahead of Ellery, Asch, Altzen and out.